Hello and welcome in. Happy Wednesday, all you cool cats and kittens out there. I am ready to rock and roll. We can talk about anything that you want. We're going to talk about anything that you want. I'm going to answer the questions. I'm going to do all that fun stuff. There's an event in Bermuda. There's an event in Dubai, DP World Tour Championship. The TGL starts in 5 weeks. We can talk about anything you want. This time is yours. But also, what I am going to do momentarily. Hopefully, I'm filibustering right now. I'm letting people come in and get started. But what I'm going to do in the next 2 minutes probably is I'm going to make a sizable announcement that I have been teasing in regards to the one and done over the course of the past couple of weeks. I've been teasing this. It is now official. I'm going to reveal what that announcement, not just one, but two announcements, what those are. I'm going to reveal them in about a minute, maybe 2 minutes. Otherwise, I welcome you all in. I say hello. If you want to get your comments, questions, and concerns in the chat right now, it would be a good time to do that. I will use as much stuff as I have access to in front of me, whether it's my website, rickrungood.com. I'll look at the weather. We'll do the data. We'll do whatever you want. We'll use all the resources that we have in front of us to be able to go through this information. All right. Have I waited long enough? Not even 2 minutes into the show. I should probably wait longer, but I can't because I'm too excited about this. All right. So here we go. Let's get into this. The Splash one and done, the Rick Run Good Splash $1.25 million one and done World Championship. That is live on Splash right now. That has been live for the last couple of days. Congratulations to all of you. We have gotten the $1.25 million guarantee. It is the largest one and done on the internet. I think we've done a really good job with payouts and with segments and all that stuff. It was a collaboration, a negotiation between myself and Splash. I did not just want this to be entirely transactional, right? I want it to be different. I want to continue to try to offer new ways and cool ways to do stuff. And Splash has been really receptive to that. So, in addition to all the payouts, all the things for this contest, there are going to be two additional giveaways that you can win. First off, let me share my screen because the contest has been updated on Splash. You can now win a trip to the Players Championship if you enter this contest. You have to enter 2 or more entries. That's it. You've got to multi-enter this. That gets you eligible to win a trip with airfare and hotel and 2 tickets to a suite, to a what do they call it? Hospitality suite with me. I'll join you there for the Players Championship on, I believe the day is Saturday. All you have to do is enter twice. It's $250 an entry. So it's $500 to get in that. It's $8 a week per entry. So if you're going to play $16 a week anyway, you should probably do this. If you were going to multi-enter anyway, you should probably do this. I will tell you, 99.7% of entries last year were single bullets. So I don't know how many people are going to take us up on this. You might have a pretty good chance of winning this draw. Okay, so 2 or more, it doesn't matter. If you do 2 entries, you're in the draw, and you have the same number of entries in the draw as somebody does who puts 10 entries into the contest. Okay, so 2 or more, you're in that draw. I looked it up. This is the Intracoastal Club. It's right between the 12th and the 13th holes, which is going to be a very cool little corner. Okay, it's got shade. That was my requirement. It's open air. It's got lookouts. Okay. It's got TVs and a bar and food and places to spread your wings. This could be us, me and you, sitting right here. Mina probably on the side. You bring a guest, okay? And Splash is going to cover, they're going to give you a travel stipend for the airfare, okay? This is something we did for the John Daly contest last year, for the, I think it was for the Masters pool last year, and it got rave reviews. I loved meeting up with people. It was a lot of fun. So $2,000 travel stipend, 2 tickets to a hospitality suite, for Saturday at the Players Championship. I think it's Saturday. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's Saturday. All you got to do is put in 2 or more entries. Okay. Wow. So far, pretty good. You get to meet Armina. I mean, that's worth it alone, right? My goodness. That's part 1. I'm not ready to give up just yet. All right. So what I told Splash is, if you give me the, you pay for this promotion, I'll pay for the other. So here's the other one. If you enter by December 31st at 11:59 p.m. So if you enter before January 1st, okay? It's 2 weeks early before this contest starts. I will pay for your travel. You can bring a friend. You can meet me in either Southern California or Las Vegas, your choice. I don't care. Make a vacation out of it. We'll play a round of golf, set you up at my club if you want. We'll play together. We'll have dinner. I don't care what, if you don't play golf and you want to go to Vegas and see a show, let's go see a show. If you don't want me to be involved at all, I won't be involved at all. I'll just pay for your tickets and your hotel. Okay. But we will do something. You want to go to the Sphere? We'll go to the Sphere. You want to go to Circa and watch sports together? We'll go do that. I don't care. Whatever you want, I'll tailor it to you, but I'll pay for your travel. I'll pay for your golf. Maybe I'll pay for something more. I don't know about that. All you have to do is enter before the new year. All right. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Rick, those two things are, they're not tied to one another. Can I do both? Of course you can do both. So if you put 2 entries in before December 31st, you're in the draw for both of them. And I'll tell you what, I don't think a lot of people are everyone loves waiting till the last minute, which I'm trying to avoid. I don't know how many people are going to multi-enter this. You could have a pretty good chance of winning either one of these, quite honestly. So I'm stoked. Thank you to Splash. The other one will come out of my pocket. We'll do it together. Links in the description. I hope, Mina, to go sign up for the one and done right now. But the links in the description. You can rock and roll over there. It's going to be a great year. I'm stoked for it, and hopefully I can give back a little bit to y'all who have done such a great job. All right. Let me know if you have any questions about that, but appreciate you. Let's get to this. Let's talk about the weather. So we've got, as always, the wind in Bermuda. It's the only line of defense against professional golfers at this golf course and at any golf course in Bermuda. And the good news is it always blows. I mean, just 18 miles an hour is the baseline, right? And then you're going to get upwards of 26 or 30 miles an hour. You are going to get gusted. There was a really good conversation that happened on Sirius XM. Greg Ducharme was on. It was Jason Sobel, and it was Adam Hadwin. And Adam Hadwin talked about the fact that you don't hit any full shots at this golf course because everything has to be flighted. Everything's got to be holding it up against the wind, going with the wind, low, high, whatever, right? There are just no stock shots around this place. So that you are getting that forecast as expected. All right. Now, Thursday and Friday. So if you want to talk weather wave, Thursday and Friday, nearly identical, right? You're going to get that 18 to 21 mile an hour wind the entirety of those 2 days. It'll gust a little bit more on Saturday and Sunday, but we won't know the, wave advantage or anything like that. If you want to look at wind data, this is relatively new. It's been on Rick Run Good for a couple months at this point. And I'll just use this opportunity to remind you, I was never going to do wind data until I was confident in the wind data because there's so many issues with it. It's been my soapbox issue forever. This is as good as wind data as you're ever going to get. Okay. This is from the golf course, from the radar at that time. Okay. There's still flaws with wind data, but this is as good as it's ever going to get, at least for now. So you could go and look at guys who play, last couple of years or whatever, in 15 mile an hour winds or stronger, minimum of, let's go 2 starts. Paul Peterson, Luke Clanton, Matty Schmid, Patrick Fishburne. It's actually kind of surprising about Luke Clanton because he is one of the biggest movers of the golf ball, left to right, huge curve, only works it in one direction, but seemingly has been capable in only his 4 events. Andrew Putnam's been great in the wind, 16 starts. Chan Kim's got 10 starts. He's been great. Mark Hubbard as well. So you can go check this out, rickrungood.com. There's also you could use this in collaboration with the Apex stuff. So you could go to the radar tool. You can see guys who hit it high, guys who hit it low. It's not a perfect thing, but guys that hit it lower in theory should be able to keep it under the wind, hit it through the wind. There are still issues with that, but you've got that information here. You've got launch angles. You can see guys that hit it far but low. So for example, David Skins is like the farthest low hitter, 289 yards. Victor Perez is in there as well. But keeping it under 90 feet of apex, that's kind of interesting, right? Will Gordon just hits hellacious seeds off the tee, 94 feet off the ground at nearly 300 yards of carry on average. So yeah, it's here for you. There's a lot of different ways that we can interpret it. I see there's a lot of questions in the chat, and we'll interpret things in a lot of different ways. Let's get to some of these questions. Jeff says, loving the new course stats. Why have you removed the regression model? Also, why haven't you added any new parameters to the custom model yet? Well, hat tip to you, Jeff. You are in my grill right out of the gate. Thank you very much for that. So let's talk about it. Course key stats. The regression model is still here. It just looks different. It's just not a spider chart anymore. It's just a bar chart. There's more stats. There's more better stats. So that is still here. I have not removed the regression model. It is absolutely right here. Why haven't you added any new parameters to the custom model yet? Sorry, pal. I'm working on it. It's coming. I mean, it's happening right now. Like, I got to test stuff, right? It's a development environment. I can't just like push it and hope it all works, right? Like there's a process. You'll see it very, very soon. We will not get, especially not get to like next year without a bunch of new stuff coming to the website. But thank you for getting in my grill and holding me accountable. Chris says, hey, Rick, can you identify the best players for last 10 rounds at Port Royal? Yes. Let's go. So Chris says you either embrace the wind or you don't embrace the wind. So a lot of different ways we can do this. Let's just go everybody at this event, and we will clear out wind and we will add in Port Royal, although they're pretty much the same, right? Hold on. What am I missing here? Oh, okay. Port Royal. All right. So Patrick Rogers has been awesome. He's got 2.56 strokes gained per round over his last 12 rounds. Average finishing position 5.3. Vince Whaley, average 6.7. He's got 3 straight top 8 finishes. Seamus Power, former champion here. He's got 2.23, and Justin Lauer is over 2. The only other guy over 2 strokes per round in the last, what did I do? Since back to 2021 with at least 2 starts at Port Royal. Grayson Sigg, Mark Hubbard, Alex Smalley. So like we're going to start seeing some of the same names pop up, right? We saw, what do we see? Justin Lauer in the low apex. Right now, we're seeing him in the Port Royal. Right, same with Mark Hubbard. Make notes of these names as they pop up. What is your best bet for this week? Not your card, but your best bet. Oh, interesting. Okay, it would probably be something related to Sahith Theegala, who I just think is mispriced in the market because of 2024 has been, or 2025 has been a really bad year for him, but he's been hurt and now he's back. He's the best player in this field. It's a very weak field. I think he's a creative player. I think he's a guy that has the ability to hit a lot of different types of shots. Let's see what the data says. I mean, when you think of guys that have a lot of, this is silly, but you know how he shanks it on command and he like tops it on command? It's he doesn't always play that way. He almost primarily hits a left to right shot, but from all 3 trajectories. I find him to probably be more creative than he's getting credit for. So something Sahith related, top 20, top 10 would probably be my best bet. And what is the closest thing to what the MVG? Oh my God, MVG. So there used to be a tool. This is years ago. This would have been when it was called DFS on demand, I think. MVG, most valuable golfer. Chef, remind me. I think it was almost like fantasy points gained. Oh no, I'm sorry. No. Okay. It was where they ranked in fantasy points versus where they finished in the golf tournament and what the difference was, because guys would, shoot even par, but do it with 3 birdies, three bogeys or whatever. Wow. I guess that has now evolved into like fantasy points gained, which would be a pretty good one. I do also have, this is not the exact answer, but I did push an update to the tournament predictor in the last day or two. So this model is a new model. And instead of running the simulation 1,000 times, I've run it 10,000 times. It's a new model as well with different weightings and stuff that has been back tested a little bit sharper. And it's now live on the tournament predictor. This has a value column, which is kind of like, it looks at how often they're winning my model versus how often they're winning the implied model, which I think is a little bit about sentiment as well. Interesting. Yeah, I think fantasy points gained would probably be like the best thing, Chef. Rick, I saw Kanaya had one of the lowest ball flights, but was also one of the worst players in the wind. How does that square? Yeah, well, low ball flight is not the only thing that matters in the wind, right? You could get sometimes you have to work it in specific directions. He's just also like he's a very, very good player. I love Takumi Kanaya, but he's also not like the greatest player in the world. So he also probably doesn't have a huge sample size where you could say, like, this is also one of the issues with wind data is, did he play bad or did he play well because of the wind or in spite of the wind, or would it have not mattered at all? Right. So that's kind of one of the issues with usually get such a small sample size that you wouldn't know. The other one that goes with that is people are like, oh, I want the stats of when so-and-so plays with another guy. When Rory plays with Scotty, does he play better? It's like, well, now those two guys play together a lot, but what if they play together 8 times? Is there something we should take away from that? So it's a little bit sticky there, but I don't necessarily think just low ball flight. I think it helps in the wind, but I don't think it's the secret sauce. Chris says, I think low ball flight is crucial to success. Do you think that is why Camilo has had such success here? It's possible. Like I said, there's a lot of different ways to get it done. But the cool part is, you can't deny that we've got access to the data. Adam Svensson, very low ball hitter. Camilo Villegas, low ball hitter. The names that pop out. Seamus Power, low ball hitter. He's had success here. I'm trying to think who else has had success here. That's a low ball hitter. But I look at somebody who hits it low, who hits their wedges well, who works it in a lot of different directions. And I've convinced myself that Adam Svensson's going to win this golf tournament, right? I mean, Svensson works it in all 3 directions, mostly left to right. But as far as guys go, this is pretty distributed. Hits it low, is very good from 125 yards and in, has played a lot better. I've just been growing on Adam Svensson as this goes on. Hey, Rick, how does the Earth course rank in terms of Rory's best course fits? Oh, it's got to be way up there. Let's go. Can I do it this way? Let's try this. We're going to go to the course horses. We are going to go to Rory McIlroy. We are going to say anywhere that he has at least 5 starts across all tours in his career. Let this load. There's a lot of data here. And we're going to see the best spots for Rory McIlroy. Yeah, here you go. The Earth course is here. 2 strokes per round in 11 starts, 48 rounds. I mean, Rory's very good in a lot of places, but that's a lot of starts, right? It's his 4th best with at least 10 starts. Quail Hollow, Wentworth, Bay Hill would be the others. So a very, very strong Rory McIlroy to Earth course combo there. Well done. Hey, Rick, there are some golfers that really evade my correctly picking them or not. I hear you, brother. My concerns include Lauer Smalley and Sammy Valimaki. Who has the highest floor here? All right, let's use the data. Power rankings. Let's call floor gaining a stroke or more per round. Let's just call it that. We could call it a lot of different things. So we're going to go Alex Smalley. We are going to go Lauer. And we are going to go with Sammy Valimaki. Okay, we'll compare these guys together here. So Valimaki has the highest floor. Well, it's actually this 36 rounds is probably way too few for this. So you want like 100. Okay, so Valimaki and Smalley are tied. They pick up a stroke or more to the field in 1% of their rounds. Smalley has a more normal distribution. So Valimaki's distribution says this. It says, I have got an okay floor and I've got a very high ceiling, but like in between, you don't know what you're going to get, right? Smalley's distribution is perfect. It's like, he gains 1 or more 43% of the time, 2 or more 35%, 3 or more 22%, right? Just like kind of a normal distribution. Lauer is just below those guys across the board. Kind of a lower floor, kind of a lower ceiling. Not a lot to do there. Jackson Golf would like a deep dive on Jackson Suber. Okay. Suber's been great. And he's another guy who's grown on me. I think I have a top 20 on Jackson Suber. So his last 8 rounds have been quite good. 6 of them have been outstanding. 2 of them have been below average, but he's got a 15th place finish at the Desert Championship and an 11th place finish at the Cabo event. Played well at the Barracuda. I think that you've got a really talented player who is on a mini heater who plays well against weaker fields. That would be the way that I would describe Jackson Suber, and a lot of that checks off the boxes. How much radar data do we have on Jackson Suber? Let's find out. Remember, it's got to be radar measured. I have 672 drives on him, 617 this year, 108-foot apex, 291. I like that he works it in can work it in a lot of different ways. He likes it a right to left shot. That's actually pretty rare for a guy, a right-handed player on the PGA Tour, but this isn't bad. 108 apex is starting to get pretty high. That doesn't say that he's not capable of hitting it low, but that's not his normal stock shot. Yeah, he's right here. Definitely skews towards the higher end of things. Not the worst thing in the world. Wow, that was a full-on stutter. In a somewhat random sport, is this event the most random of the year? Trying to think. I sometimes think there are some events where like good shots are not necessarily rewarded and bad shots are not necessarily punished. I'm trying to think what that would be, but with the wind here, with the field here, this is pretty random. That's backed by data as well. The odds makers have the shortest golfer at 18-1. Implies he's going to win like 5.2% of the time. Well, that's very low for the favorite. So Vegas is saying, wow, all of these guys have a chance. Then we're throwing in the fact that you've got all this random wind stuff. You've got a golf course that does not box out any short hitters. So I would say, yeah, this is, I'm living in the moment, but this is definitely one of the more random of the year. Is it possible for us to find an edge? Well, I think the edge is embracing the randomness, right? So when you go to the cheat sheet and you see the, highest projected owned golfers like Rico Hoey, I love Rico Hoey. Rico Hoey has been fantastic for me the last couple of weeks. There's a really strong case to just like full fade Rico Hoey. You have two other guys in the 10K range that I think are just fine, and Kevin Yu and Thorbjorn Olsen. I think if you wanted to start your lineups with Nico and Patrick Rogers, or Nico and Cootie, or whatever, Nico and Vince Whaley, like any combination of those guys, I think that would be great as well. Save the money. Hoey might just get gusted all over the place. Hoey's putter still might like be an issue. He's now going to have to, for the first time in his life, have you ever tried to use a broomstick in wind? It's not fun. I was kind of kidding when I said it on Monday, I think, but there is more surface area for the wind to blow your putter. That's a real thing. He's going to, if you ever remember that video of Will Zalatoris from behind with the worm cam, and it's like a figure eight. His swings, his putting strokes like a figure eight. That's gonna happen with that broomstick. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of that. So I think the edge is embracing the volatility. Speaking of events, will you be at the Phoenix Open this year? I have not solidified any 2026 travel outside of the Players. I would hope to be in Phoenix. Yes. I think there's a very good chance I'm in Phoenix. I think there's a very good chance I'm in like Phoenix, Torrey. I hope the Masters again, of course. Hope the PGA. Probably the US Open. We'll see. But I would like to be in Phoenix, yes. Is it really gusting around 40 to 45 Thursday morning? What are the chances they delay the tournament? Well, good question, Hank Hill. I would say that they should be prepared for this, right? This is obviously 40 miles an hour is a ton, but of all places on the PGA Tour, they should be prepared for this. They get this wind every day. Also, they would normally have the greens slower so that they're not completely exposed to gusting like this. I don't want to, pre-call out the PGA Tour, but like if they're not ready for 35 or 40 mile an hour gusts, like they didn't prepare for this, right? So I don't know where they'll draw the line. If balls are moving and not that's where they'll draw the line, but hopefully they have prepared for this. This is very sweet. So Jackson says, he's talking about the one and done contest. He says, if you're not in yet, for the love of God, reach out if you need the $50 to make your entry. That's very sweet. I believe that's an offer. If you're 50 short and you really want to play, I think Jackson will put you into it. So thank you. That's cool. I found decent success in a contest format we don't discuss much here in single entry. Yeah, we don't discuss a lot. I play it more than anything else. Could you maybe talk about how you would approach the contest style differently? The main thing is that I find ownership to be more polarizing. The guys that are going to be popular in the big 150 maxes like Rico Hoey are usually more popular in the single entries. You can only make one lineup. People don't want to go without him. So that tends to be the case. You'll see me be a little bit different. The other thing is the single entry contests are usually just much smaller in terms of the number of entrants. So while guys are higher owned, you also don't have to be as contrarian, and you can just kind of take one little stab or one little pivot as opposed to having to do multiple. Is Kuchar really a viable winner? Yes. Will he win? I don't know. Should he play well? Abso-freaking-lutely. Shortest golf course on the PGA Tour for one of the shortest hitters on the PGA Tour. The go-to saying is, guy can't hit it out of his shadow. Can't hit it out of his shadow. That's what they always say about short hitters. He's 170th on tour in driving distance. It's probably out of 175. Very accurate. That's good news. Hits his wedges still at his age very well, inside 150 yards. His only issue statistically is the driver. It's not really the driver. It's off the tee game. He loses because he's short. The rest of his game has been very good. I would say there is not a better place for Cooch to play than right here. Who do you like in Dubai? So, I mean, let me just caveat this whole thing with like, obviously Rory or Tommy is going to win that, right? But let's talk through it. So I've got that field loaded in as well. I'm going to sort this by strokes gained total. I think Tom McKibben is criminally mispriced in both markets. You look at so he won Hong Kong. So he played miserable in Dubai or in Abu Dhabi, but it was right after his win in Hong Kong, which it was a splendid run, right? I think we're going to get back. Like the hangover's over. Let's just get back to playing like we did in Hong Kong, like we did in Spain, like we did in St. Andrews, like we did at Wentworth, like we did in Ireland, right? Like we did in Michigan, like we did in Indianapolis. Tom McKibben plays all over the globe. I've got all his data in here, Live and DP World Tour and Asian Tour. It's all here. It's all here. He's a very, very strong, talented player. He's only 22 years old. And I think he's gonna be good. I don't know if this is true or not. It says he lives in Dubai. I'm getting that from the DP World Tour, from their player profiles, or I guess his is from Live Golf. But he's from Northern Ireland. He's from Hollywood. He's from the same town Rory McIlroy's from. Maybe he lives in Dubai now. That's kind of sick. A lot of those guys probably should. I think it's no income tax in Dubai, especially if you're going to travel around. Bring back the strokes gained spider chart. Do we feel that way? Mina, put up can we do a poll? Can we do a poll? I don't even know if I have the old version. So the old version, I don't have the old version to show you. The old version just had like 6 points on it. It was a spider chart. And all it had was like the strokes gained stuff and driving distance. And those still exist. They're just in this chart. Maybe people like to have it kind of not hand fed to them, but like, let's put a poll up. Do we want the spider chart and all the crappy stats, or so spider chart option 1 or bar chart option 2 that has really all the really good stats, and it includes the strokes gained stuff as well? I mean, I love this one. So it's going to have to be overwhelming to bring back the spider chart. I hate the spider chart, but sometimes I just have to let the people speak. I have to let them speak sometimes. We'll see. Have you spoken about Seamus Power yet? I have not. Here's the rant on Seamus Power. Obviously a past champion. Obviously plays well in the wind. Statistically, that is true. He is a low apex golfer. Statistically, that is true. He's playing good golf right now. Statistically, that's pretty true. He's struggling in the short game categories, but the ball striking is elite. That is all true. I will now tell you something that is not going to be seen in the statistics. The very first Corn Ferry Tour event I ever went to was in 2019. It was the Paiute Championship at Paiute outside of Las Vegas. And if you've ever been outside of Las Vegas or in Las Vegas, the wind can howl. And because of where Paiute is located on an Indian reservation right on this mountain, it is gusty as all hell. And the Thursday there was like legitimately 40-mile-an-hour winds. I'm not kidding. It was blowing us off the golf course. And Seamus Power was freaking dialed. I was watching this guy. He lives in Las Vegas. He plays in a lot of windy conditions. This man was dialed. Ball control like you cannot imagine. Spin control like you cannot imagine. I understand that is 6 years ago, but I am building the case that this dude knows how to play in the wind. He's from Ireland. He lives in Las Vegas. He hits it low. He's had success at these golf courses in the past. Like, what are we doing? Seamus Power, let's ride. We've hosted the best win players question a bunch. I wonder if you've not simply considered how old, what? I wonder if we've not considered simply adding how old a golfer is or how many years on tour. Idea being experience helps with wind performance. Maybe. I mean, I guess we could look into that at some point. I don't know. I would have to look into that. Dylan hates the bar chart. Is he the only one? I don't know. We're going to find out. Mina, will you let me know in like 5 minutes what the results of that are? All right. Thank you very much. Does any sports book... Oh, that's funny. Last man in. Who do you prefer? Jeremy Paul, David Skins, or Snedeker? Boy. It's still David Skins for me. I think it's Skins. Believe it or not, I think it's Snedeker, and then it's Paul. Those two are a little bit closer. It's still David Skins for me. David Skins hits it. I just showed you this. Hits it far and low. Has played better recently. He has this issue where he just like cannot keep it going for as many rounds as I would like him to, but I don't mind what David Skins has been up to. If you want to go with the old man narrative, he's an old man. In your custom model, if you select the last 24 rounds, and then one of the metrics you select is strokes gained approach last 36, does it only factor in the last 24, or does it extrapolate? No, it basically separates them. So what it would do is if you did this, right? If you said last 24 rounds and then added last 36 here, it would disregard strokes gained off the tee for the last 24 rounds and only show you last 36. It would like overwrite that. It would know you want 36 for that. You're dialed today. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get freaky. All right, let's get freaky with a model. Let's get freaky, Chris. Mina, the queen of the green. She's going to love that. All right. How freaky can I get? Let's say I'm just looking through my options. There's like 100 of them. All right, let's start with 15 on strokes gained putting on Bermuda. Sorry. Let's do I'm going to do these three wedge approach buckets for 15 each. 50 to 75, 75 to 100, 100 to 125. I'm going to also do bogey avoidance for 20. Then I'm going to do, there was something else I wanted to do. Short courses for 10. Oh, and I wanted like bonus putting for 10. I did not do any weighted strokes gained. I didn't do strokes gained approach. I only did wedge play. Taylor Montgomery, number 1. Oh boy. Chandler Phillips, Matt Kuchar, Sam Ryder, Thorbjorn Olsen, Ben Coles, Patrick Fishburne, Grayson Sigg, Seamus Power, Matthew Pavone. Chris sent a super chat. Never required, always appreciated. Thank you. I was looking at Victor Perez. Seems like a really good play. I'm with you here. Victor Perez is awesome. It's not awesome. He's been good. He's good. He's fine. He's a great ball striker. He does not have any huge flaws in his game. He was in that hits it low, hits it far enough, finds the center of the club face. All that stuff is beneficial to Victor Perez. If this is a good course for Kuchar types, then do you think this is a bad course for the younger KFT bomber guys? So who will struggle here is the question. Good question. Okay. My guess is this. Guys that struggle here are guys that are reliant on distance. Okay. Reliant on distance. And I think guys that have a lot of curve on their ball. All right. So let's name a couple names here. So how can we do this? Let's go to the cheat sheet. Make sure we're on the correct field. Let's sort by driving distance, okay? And then we're going to look for guys that struggle in other areas, okay? So we're looking for, so we've got it sorted by distance. Let's look at like guys with red in places. Okay, let's try that. Gordon Sargent. That's pretty easy. Nicholas Norgard-Moller. Will Gordon, right? These are guys that are losing kind of across the board. Ricky Castillo to an extent. Trey Mullinax. Rafael Campos. He's just been bad everywhere. Luke Clanton. Alex Smalley. Quade Cummins. I also think guys that, here's my hunch on this. Guys that curve their ball a lot. So I mentioned it earlier. No one moves their ball like Luke Clanton. 99 feet of curve on average. And this is my only one concern with Sahith. So these guys have, except for Frankie Sappin, these guys all have one shot shape, left to right, and their ball moves a lot. So think about how this is going to impact you on a golf course with the, with wind coming and gusting and coming from a lot of different directions. One, you can only work the ball left to right. So what happens if the wind is left to right? Am I going to start it? Am I going to start it 70 yards left and trust that the wind is going to bring it back? Or am I going to have to hit a shot that I'm very uncomfortable with? Okay. That's part one. The other thing is when your ball is spinning a lot, right? Which it's doing to move 100 feet. You are now like, when the wind starts hitting that, it's gone, right? You can't work it the other way into the wind. It's going to take off, right? Like hitting a knuckle ball would be better in this wind. So I hear guys that I think are going to struggle because of that. Luke Clanton, you're looking at the list right now. The list, I would stop the list here, right? Clanton, Laird, Pavone, Thigala, Norlander, Thornberry, Cootie, Sargent. Yeah. I mean, it's a really good question and a fun way to look at things, quite honestly. Is like, who's going to struggle here? Because we always talk about it the other way. Oh, okay. So Armina is in the chat. We've got her via voice, and she is going to give us the results of the poll that was spider chart versus bar chart, and I hope bar chart wins.
You have your wish.
I have my headphones in.
Oh, okay. I'll type it for you.
Okay, go ahead.
72% for. Use your drum roll.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
I don't think you have it.
I don't have a drum roll?
No. Okay. Anyway, 72% bar chart.
Good job, everybody. You picked the right one. Dylan's the only one who likes the spider chart. Thanks, Mina.
You're welcome. Maybe you could do a tab where you can tab over to the spider chart so that Dylan can be happy too.
Oh, okay.
Are
you going to build that? Are you going to develop that? All right. Thank you. All right. 72%. Well done. Well done. 72%. Dylan, I will try to figure out a way to make it look better or like feel better or whatever. Okay. Where else are we at here? Rick, if I sign up for the Splash One and Done, can I make my picks in Nevada? Yes. So if you are just getting here, I've got some big news, but I saw this earlier. I actually thought there were more states in which you were not eligible to play in, but everywhere in US and Canada except Nevada, Washington, and Quebec. That's a lot of places. Okay. Legal, regulated. And this goes for everybody because I've done this countless times. You just have to sign up in a legal place. And then you can make your picks from anywhere. I've made picks from Cabo because we've been on vacation. I've made picks from all over the road. You just have to sign up. So if at any point in the next month or two, if your travels take you somewhere, this is available, make sure it's available. If you're just tuning in, I won't go through the whole thing again, but if you're just tuning in, if you put 2 entries into the One and Done, you have a chance to win 2 hospitality tickets with travel to the Players Championship to hang out with me. Okay. We're going to hang right here at the Intracoastal Club and we're going to sit right there and we're going to watch this and it's going to be a hell of a time. Okay. 2 or more entries, you're in the draw for that. On top of that, if you enter before January 1st, so sometime in December, sometime in 2025, I will pay to fly you and a friend to either Las Vegas or Southern California, your choice. We'll play golf together or we'll hang whatever. We'll do whatever you want. Play golf, come to my club, or we'll go to see a show, or I'll leave you alone. Whatever you want to do. Do both of those things. Put 2 entries in by January 1st, you're in both. Thanks, Oliver. It says, great conversation yesterday on the second cut about a need for bye weeks. Wouldn't it make sense to have bye weeks after majors? I think so. I've heard people say, well, they're already geared up for a major, just have them go play a signature event because they're already like in the thing. But yes, I do think bye weeks after majors would be beneficial. The Second Cut podcast is a podcast that we do both on YouTube and obviously wherever you get your podcasts. Greg Ducharme, Mark Immelman, and myself talk about all things golf. It's very, very cool. It's very, very sweet. How do you feel about Grayson Sigg this weekend? I see his name popping up in a bunch of different articles. I'm not sure I have. Oops. How did I do that? How did I click that? Okay. I'm not sure I have a take on Grayson Sigg, to be quite honest with you. Let's find out together. All right. We've got Grayson Sigg, who's playing some fairly high-level golf this fall. He's got 3 top 25 finishes in his 4 starts. Metrics seem pretty strong here. Played here last year, finished 9th. Played here 2 years ago, or what was that, 3 years ago. Finished T11. Has never finished worse than 22nd here. Okay. What is not to like about this? Anything? He's not a very good putter on Bermuda, but he's not a very good putter in general. Okay. I'm cool with this. Very strong from 150 yards and in for the most part. Yeah. Good call. I don't have anything bad to say about Grayson Sigg. Team bar chart. Rick, it's been a while. What's up? Just started work, but have watched at night, so I haven't had any time to join live chats, but wanted to share my appreciation, though. Can't wait for the main season to start up. Tyler, it's good to see you again. There is no main season. It's all the main season, but I understand what you're saying. I'm looking forward to it as well. Oh, look who pops up. Mr. Montreal. Steph invited me to his club. Is very kind, great friends. And I had to pay out at the end. I lost. I handed him a fresh $20 bill, which quite honestly, 20 USD at the time was worth like 30 Canadian. So you made a good loser out of me. Power or Perez? Wow. I like both of them. Absolute need it. It's still Perez for me. As much as I sing the Seamus Power praises, I really like Victor Perez. I really do. My neighbor who grew up 5 doors down was Trevor Cohn. And then somebody else asked, does Trevor Cohn have oh, that was still Ken. Does Trevor Cohn have a single prayer? Trevor Cohn, I think, was one of these. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Trevor Cohn was one of these guys that I said, like, don't have just distance as your skill set. Because it's not going to be that important this week. You've got a ton of bad play on approach, really bad around the green, bad putter. I mean, just for kicks, I'll pull up his radar profile. But I don't think we're going to like that either. Yeah, hits it higher than average. One direction. Doesn't curve it a lot. Somebody said, no, he's just happy to be here. I kind of agree. I hope I'm wrong. It's not a great spot for him. I would like him in a lot of different spots. Rick, Scott Stallings won me 2 showdown contests 3 years ago. And when he shot like a 60 in the bad wave, can we use that data as a reference? What? Oh, for this week? No. Tell that guy from earlier, I'm looking for an angel investor for 62.50 max enter. That's funny. Do you have any betting angles that coincide with players who need to keep their card this week? No. My most of my theory is that if these guys had the ability to turn it on when they needed it back against the wall, they would not have done it. They would not have waited till now. Tuned in late. Are we going Fleetwood over McIlroy? No, we're not. But I'm pretty sure one of them is going to win. I did bet Alex Noren. I bet Noren to win without Rory Fleetwood, Ludwig, Hatton, without the big 4. I also have a Tom McKibben top 10 over there. I tried to just avoid the Rory Fleetwood thing in general. All right. I'm going to stop there. It is time for lunch and I'm starving. Armina promised me sushi and then she said she already ate. So now what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to eat by myself. So I'm probably going to go to Chipotle. Links in the description for the one and done. I promise you, we've worked really hard on this. We're going to continue to work hard on it. It's a really good purse with a guarantee, the largest on the internet. Plus, you can win a lot of really cool experiences. And I like meeting you guys and playing golf with you guys. And I wish we could have 100 people show up. Hey, maybe Splash will pay for that at some point. But I would really like this to go well. So we'll see. But that'll do it. Mina, thank you. Shut it down. Goodbye.